Tonight, 3 Christmas stories. Some things should never come down the chimney.
Most people think Christmas Eve is the safest night of the year. A night of fireplaces, warm cocoa, and kids struggling to fall asleep while parents tiptoe around with wrapping paper. A night when every door is locked, every dog is asleep by the tree, and every child wakes up to presents instead of nightmares. But there's a story, a rumor that has been circulating for years on Reddit threads, TikTok videos, and niche forums hidden behind usernames and grainy profile pictures, that says Christmas Eve isn't as safe as it looks, that there is something else that comes that night, something that isn't Santa. Most people laugh when they hear it. They say it's just internet creepypasta, another bedtime scare tactic, something streamers made up for views. But the thing about urban legends is that someone always claims it started somewhere real. Some sheriff's report, some old diary, some kid whose parents still don't let them talk about what they saw. The legend begins in small towns, rural pockets of the Midwest, the Rockies, and northern New England, places where the nights are longer, the snow is deeper, and neighbors don't always ask questions. In these towns, years before the internet, children were told a simple rule on December 24th. You have to be asleep before midnight. Do not stay up. Do not check the window. Do not try to see him. Back then, kids assumed him meant Santa. But Santa wasn't the reason the rule existed. Santa was the excuse parents gave so kids wouldn't ask more questions, because the actual visitor wasn't there to deliver anything. He was there to check. The earliest stories say he comes sometime between 12:10 and 3 a.m., when most kids are either deeply asleep or fighting their eyelids. It doesn't matter if you've been naughty or nice, that part is Santa's domain. The thing isn't interested in behavior. The thing is interested in consciousness. It checks if kids are asleep. Not in the fun, peek into the room and whisper ho 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 way. It listens. It waits. And if a child is awake, truly awake, heart beating fast in their chest as they strain to hear the house, then the legend says the thing notices. And when it notices, it doesn't leave presents. It takes something. Sometimes an object, sometimes a pet, and in very old versions of the story, ones that librarians only mention in casual whispers, sometimes it takes a child. Not violently, not loudly, just gone. The first modern case the internet latched onto happened in Boise, Idaho in 2012. It wasn't marketed as horror at first, just a strange post on a parenting forum by a mother using the handle Sleigh Bell Mom. My daughter wouldn't go to sleep on Christmas Eve. She was scared someone was in the house. Christmas morning, her favorite stuffed cat was gone. She thinks Santa took it. No sign of it anywhere. Harmless at a glance, kids lose toys all the time. But a few replies down, another parent commented, "We had something similar. Our son stayed up all night last year, and the hamster was dead in the morning. Cage wasn't opened, no marks, just gone."
A week later, a third account. My niece refused to sleep, cried until 3 a.m. On Christmas morning, the basement door was wide open and the coal bucket was emptied. She swears she saw someone tall and bent looking into her room around 1 a.m. The thread got locked, but screenshots spread. And then the retellings began. In Maine, the story changes slightly. The thing doesn't take pets, it takes voices. Kids wake up hoarse, unable to speak for days. Doctors call it viral. The legend says otherwise. In parts of Colorado, families notice that it leaves something behind, thin strands of white fabric caught on doorknobs or windowsills. Not fur, not hair, fabric as if from an old coat worn threadbare. In Minnesota, hunters reported seeing a shape walking the woods on Christmas night, too tall for a deer, too fast for a man, and never leaving tracks in snow. But the most detailed account, the one that turned the legend into something bigger, came from a Reddit user in 2019, posting under a throwaway account on r/paranormal. The post was titled, "My brother didn't sleep on Christmas Eve and something came into our house." The story was long, rambling, full of timestamps like a police report. It described two brothers, ages 10 and 13, who tried to stay up all night to catch Santa. They sat in the hallway with snacks and flashlights. Around 1:17 a.m., they heard something moving on the first floor. Not footsteps, but a dragging shuffle, like something pulling its feet through carpet. They assumed it was their parents. Then they heard breathing, soft, irregular, almost curious, coming from the bottom of the stairs. They hid. From between the banister rails, the older brother saw a shape at the foot of the staircase. Not Santa, not a burglar, something tall, wrapped in what looked like a long coat or blanket that trailed on the ground, soaking up melted snow. Its head was tilted too far forward, like its neck couldn't support the weight, and the face was shadowed by the angle in the hallway light, but the younger brother swore he saw eyes reflecting in the dark, not glowing, reflecting like an animal's. The thing climbed one stair, paused, tilted its head, and then, in a voice that wasn't Santa, wasn't human, wasn't even clearly a voice, it whispered, "Are you sleeping?"
Both boys froze. Neither moved. Neither breathed. After several seconds, the thing turned, not as a person turns, but in one long bending motion, and crawled back down the stairs, dragging one sleeve. In the morning, nothing was missing at first. On December 26th, they noticed the family dog wasn't at the door waiting for food. They found the back door propped open by a piece of splintered wood. The dog was never found. The Reddit post ended with, "My brother still sleeps with his door locked every Christmas week. He says if it ever asks again, he won't answer." Commenters divided instantly, hoax or truth. But the detail that made people uneasy wasn't the creature, it was the question. Because Santa doesn't ask questions. Santa already knows. After that post, more stories surfaced. A girl in Ohio said she pretended to sleep but left her eyes slightly open. Around 2 a.m., she heard her closet door slide open, even though it sticks and needs force. Something walked out, stood at the foot of her bed, and leaned down. She smelled cold earth and old wood smoke. She heard breathing. She didn't move. In the morning, her favorite music box was gone. The only thing left was a small puddle by the closet door that never froze, even when the room was freezing. A boy in Oregon said he woke up because something touched the back of his hand, gently. Not grabbing, not clawing, just checking. In the morning, the kitchen knife drawer was open, and his bedroom window was unlatched. In Vermont, a child went missing on Christmas Eve in 1974. The police listed it as abduction. No forced entry, no footprints in snow, No broken locks, just an empty bed and a window cracked open exactly 2 inches. Not enough for a person to exit, enough for something thin to slip inside. The case remains open. If all of this is just a story, then it's a marvelously consistent one. Too consistent, some say. The kind of consistency that comes from real pattern, not fiction. The rules, as gathered from hundreds of posts, videos, and whispers, are always the same.
Rules of the thing. It only comes on Christmas Eve. It only checks homes with children. It only pays attention if a child is awake. If the child is awake, something will be missing by morning. What disappears depends on what it notices. According to the legends, if it hears whispers, it takes objects. If it sees movement, it takes pets. If it makes eye contact, it takes someone. And the most chilling rule, if it asks a question, do not answer. Because children who answered never posted online about it. In recent years, the legend has grown teeth. On TikTok, teens record fake staying up for Santa videos, joking about catching the thing on camera. But families who grow up in the rural Midwest tell their kids a different message. Go to sleep early, don't look out the window, and if you hear someone in the house, stay still. It's not Santa. Last year, a clip went viral of a child's bedroom door opening on a Nest Cam at 2:41 a.m. A long, thin shadow crossed the room. The mother claimed it was the father checking the kids, except the father was out of state for work. The family deleted the video within 24 hours. People asked what happened in the morning. She refused to answer. So if you wake up tonight, or any Christmas Eve, and you're tempted to stay up for Santa, remember this: Santa doesn't need you awake. He doesn't check closets or ask questions. He doesn't open windows or drag coats on the floor. And he doesn't take anything with him when he leaves. But sometimes, when the house is quiet and the snow absorbs every sound, something else walks the neighborhoods and listens. Not for sleigh bells, not for chimneys, for breathing. And if you hear floorboards shift, or closet doors slide, or someone whisper from the hallway, "Are you sleeping?" you already know what to do. Don't answer. Don't move. And pray that whatever you lose in the morning wasn't someone you love.
My name is irrelevant. On this channel, I only serve as the archivist, a caretaker of digital ruins, anomalies, and the cases people try to bury. Every time we receive a file, I try to categorize it: hoax, delusion, hallucination, or historical residue. But sometimes, a file arrives that refuses categorization. It stands on its own, like a shard of bone that doesn't belong to any skeleton we've ever seen. Tonight's file came from a subscriber. No username, no metadata, just a compressed archive labeled Black Hill Patient Zero. Inside were several text logs, 2 voice notes distorted beyond repair, and a single photograph: a dim room, wood walls, a lantern on a crate, and a figure wearing a plague doctor mask sitting beside a motionless body on a table. The mask wasn't a costume replica, it was old, fractured leather, stitched lenses, the beak softened by age. The wearer's posture wasn't dramatic or cinematic, it was clinical. I'll read the logs exactly as they appeared, but first, some geographical context. Black Hill is a real location, a small settlement absorbed by forest somewhere in the Pennsylvania mountains. It appears on maps until the late 1890s, then disappears. Mining accident, epidemic, evacuation, records disagree.
Some say there was never a town there at all, just a cluster of company-owned cabins. Most of the logs appear to be written by a man named Elias Boone, dated 1895. Elias claims to have been the last surviving caretaker of Black Hill after an outbreak of the choking sickness. Officially, no epidemic like that is recorded that year, but unofficially, Appalachian history is filled with erasures. Here is Log 1. Log 1, April 9, 1895. Our sawmill has closed on account of too many sick men. They cough at night until their throats bleed. The doctor from town said it was winter fever, but winter is gone and still the coughing persists. The sound follows me up the ridge, even when the wind is dead still. Log 2, April 14, 1895. I buried Thomas Haskin today, not by order, but by necessity. His corpse turned black from the chin to the chest. His tongue was swollen. The body made a sound when I moved it, like something shifting inside. I thought of rats, but it was too slow. At this point in the archive, there is a gap of 2 weeks, then another log. Log 3, April 28, 1895. Today, a doctor arrived, but not from town. He came up the old logging road at dawn. His clothing was strange, a long coat of dark hide, gloves that reached the elbow, and upon his face a mask like a bird, with a long beak and round glass eyes. The children hid, the women crossed themselves. He did not speak until he reached the infirmary. His voice came hollow. "Where are the dying?" We showed him. By this point, Elias's handwriting becomes shaky. The digital file shows a photograph of the original page, smudged with fingerprints. Log 4, May 1, 1895. The doctor performs his work in silence. He carries a leather satchel filled with jars, powders, and long needles. He tests the blood of the sick, collects their sputum, places leeches behind their ears. We cannot smell the herbs he burns in the lantern. He told me not to breathe the smoke too deeply. This is where the first voice note was found, corrupted, but one line is clear at the end. He says this is not a contagion, it is a hunger. The second voice note is worse. The uploader included auto-transcription attempts, all failed except for a few intelligible words: lungs, opening, still alive. Continuing. Log 5, May 7, 1895. 3 more dead. The doctor opened them in the church, on the communion table. I did not have the heart to protest. Inside the blackened lungs he found threads. They moved like worms, but were not worms. He removed them and placed them in a jar with spirits. They shriveled and died. He said, not parasites, bloom. I asked what that meant. He did not answer. If this were fiction, the next log would be an escalation, but what actually came next was strangely bureaucratic. Log 6, May 10, 1895. The doctor ordered that drinking water be boiled and wood be gathered for large fires. He instructed us to hang wet cloth over our mouths. The coughing men grew fewer. I believe he is helping.
Then the tone turns sharply. Log 7, May 19, 1895. The doctor says the sickness has changed. Not all bloom the same. I saw Jacob rise from his cot after 2 days without speech. His jaw hung open. His tongue was dark. He looked at me, but not at me, like he was listening to a far-off bell. The doctor forced him down with a cane and bound his hands. Jacob struggled without making a sound. Then he lay still. Log 8, May 22, 1895. The doctor burned the church. I saw shapes through the windows as it burned, bodies that should not have been moving. He told me not to speak of it. The townsfolk gathered with axes and argued about whether to flee. Some begged the doctor to send a message for help. He said no help would come. He said this had happened before. This line in the file was underlined 3 times. He said this had happened before. No location, no year, no explanation. Log 9, May 29, 1895. It is nearly over. The fires burn night and day. The doctor tends to the last of the sick. He is tired. I heard him cough once, a deep cough that shook him. When I asked if he would die, he said, "Not here." This is the last written log, but the archive includes one final file, a letter, unsigned, undated, likely written days later. Final letter, undated. Black Hill is quiet. The birds have returned. The doctor has taken the remaining jars, tools, and writings. He said he must carry them to the next place that forgets old lessons. I asked where that would be. He said, anywhere men gather and refuse to bury their dead. Then he walked the logging road until I could no longer hear his steps. Documentation ends here, but our uploader included one final note in plain text. My great-grandfather was Elias Boone. The photograph is real. I found it in our attic. I don't know what became of the doctor. Sometimes I think I see him in old plague books, in museum sketches, in woodcuts. Same mask, same tools, as if he's been fixing outbreaks for centuries. Is any of this historically verified? Not yet. Every epidemic leaves traces, but some get absorbed by myth, folklore, or medical bureaucracy. Whether the bloom organism existed or not, whether the doctor was a lone physician or a metaphor, one thing troubles me. In 2021, a virologist published a paper describing a fungal lung infection in rural Pennsylvania. The abstract uses a peculiar phrase. The colonies appear to bloom, just like Elias wrote. For now, Black Hill remains abandoned, overgrown to the point that even drones struggle to map it. But if you hike deep enough into the ridge, locals say you can still find charred stone foundations and the rusted iron cross of a church that burned from the inside out. And sometimes, if the mist settles just right, you might see a lone figure on the path, coat swaying, lantern flickering, leather mask staring through the trees. Not hunting, but tending, because some doctors don't retire.
I don't choose these stories. They're sent to me. They arrive silently, like bottle messages washing ashore at random. Sometimes they're blurry screenshots, sometimes scanned police reports, sometimes shaky phone footage from places that shouldn't exist anymore. This time, it was 3 videos, 2 voice notes, and a brief message from a subscriber that read, "This house hasn't been lived in for 14 years. It's playing Christmas music." The house is located in rural Vermont. For privacy, I won't say the town. Small population, heavy snowfall, long roads where the trees lean so close they almost form a tunnel. Houses here don't get renovated. They decay naturally, like logs in the forest. This one was built in 1923 and abandoned sometime around 2009. The official reason? Foreclosure. The unofficial reason? Nobody wanted to stay there. But we're not here to catalog real estate. We're here because something in that house refused to stay silent. Let's begin with the footage. Video 1, submitted December 18, 2023, 0.47 duration. The camera faces a dark 2-story house. Snow is falling. Wind whistles. From inside, faint music, tinny bells, a soft crackling like an old vinyl player. At first, you can't tell what song it is until the melody drifts clearly. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. The camera zooms in on the windows. No lights, no silhouettes, no power cables connected to the house. Then the video cuts. The file contains no commentary, no reaction, no jump scare,
just documentation. Message from uploader. Nobody has lived here for over a decade. No furniture, no electricity, but we heard music from the road. Another video follows. Video 2, December 18th, 2023, 1:36 duration. The uploader approaches the porch. The steps creak but don't collapse. The music is clearer now. The static is stronger. The playback isn't crisp. It sounds like it's coming from very old speakers or a gramophone. The uploader whispers, "What the hell is playing this?" They try the door. It's unlocked. When the camera crosses the threshold, the music abruptly stops. Not like someone hit pause, more like someone pulled the power cord mid-note. The silence is immediate and heavy. The uploader mutters something nervous and leaves. This video ends with a shaky zoom into the dark hallway where nothing moves. Uploader's note. When we stepped back outside, the music started again, but we didn't record that, we just ran. This would have been an interesting anomaly on its own, an abandoned house somehow playing Christmas music only when nobody's inside. Could be a prank, could be a squatter messing with a Bluetooth speaker in December. That's what I would have filed it as, until I checked the last file in the archive. The third video wasn't from 1929, it was stamped 1959. Video 3, tape digitization, 2.11 duration. Black and white, no audio for the first 10 seconds, then faint humming, that same Christmas melody sung by a child. The camera pans across a living room decorated for Christmas, tree with tinsel, handmade ornaments, a Santa figurine, stockings by the fireplace. 3 children sit on the rug unwrapping gifts. A woman brings cups of cocoa on a tray. A gramophone plays, "It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas." The film flickers, the image warps. Then, without transition, the camera points at an empty chair. The chair slowly rocks back and forth as if someone just stood up. In the bottom left corner, handwritten on the film stock, "Dad's chair, don't touch." After that, the footage cuts to static. The uploader claims the third video was found on the same property in a box of old belongings discovered in a shed before the house was abandoned. I can't verify the provenance, but the footage matches the house's interior architecture. So, at this point, I had a house with no power, music from a time period before digital players, 2 recordings separated by 64 years, and a song linking both moments. But what turned this case from Haunted House Christmas Special into an archive entry was what came next, a handwritten journal, also digitized. Journal of Eleanor Pike, 1959, excerpts. December 21st, 1959. The children are excited. We set up the tree and Henry brought the gramophone down from the attic. He found old records from his parents. One of them is scratched but still plays. I swear the house feels different when the music plays, warmer almost. December 24th, 1959. Henry fell asleep in his chair. When the record ended, it restarted without anyone touching it. But the gramophone is manual. I checked. I thought I imagined it until the children said they saw the turntable spin on its own. Henry laughed, said old houses have old tricks, but I am unsettled. December 26th, 1959.
The record plays at night. I hear it from the hallway. I checked the needle. It was up, not down, yet the music continued. I feel someone walking through the house. I smell pine and snow, even though all windows are shut. December 28th, 1959. Today the music stopped as soon as I entered the room, like it was startled, like it knew I was there. After that entry, Eleanor stops writing about music and instead focuses on family matters until the final page. January 15th, 1960. Henry said he wants to move. He says the house grieves, that someone never finished their Christmas here,
that the music plays for them, and when we enter, it hides like a child ashamed of being caught alone. Journal ends. Now, normally this would be the wrap, patchwork of folklore, heartbreak, and quirky hauntings. But you already know this archive is not about ghosts and nostalgia. It's about patterns, recurrence, and there is one final connection. Inside the uploader's zip was another file, text only, no formatting, just a short description. My great-grandfather was Henry Pike. The house was his. We abandoned it for good in 1982. There was one last person who visited it before it was condemned, a doctor doing research on temporal acoustic phenomena. He wore a long coat and a beaked mask. My grandmother swore he wasn't wearing a costume. A plague doctor, described not as theater, but as an investigator. The text ends with this. He said the house was not haunted. He said it was remembering. That single sentence reframed everything. Not haunted, remembering. A house playing old music when nobody is there, stopping when observed, replaying moments no one asked it to, trying to finish a Christmas someone never completed. There are theories, fringe ones, about places that hold memory the way bodies hold scars, buildings that echo emotions, rooms that replay. And then there are stranger theories that certain people and certain doctors don't treat the living, but the places that hold them. If that doctor was who I think he was, the same one who stitched epidemics shut in Pennsylvania in the 1890s, who appeared in Europe after the war, who keeps turning up in files where the dead and the living overlap, then this house wasn't his patient. Time was. For now, the house sits empty. Snow buries the porch. Wind presses against the windows, and sometimes, when conditions are right, when nobody is watching, an old gramophone needle lowers itself onto a record that no longer exists and plays a song for an audience that never got to finish their holiday. Not haunted, just remembering.